Is there a scenario, Anna, under which you would support an increase in taxation, either rates or occurrences?
Bad question. The revenue stream in Tulsa is just fine, right? The problem is, though, is we're not spending it well, and that we need to make sure that we look at our priorities and make sure that those are spent better. I believe utility costs are too expensive. It's a slush fund for the city to be able to take those funds and do other projects with. It's not just paying for our water. We're looking at the opportunity to look at some privatization. We've seen that happen in other cities. They've been able to save $14 million right off the top by looking to say, what does my water actually cost? What does my trash actually cost? Rather than looking at what that slush fund is. So we have some opportunities to save some money that we're not looking at.
And I'm sorry, so no to increase tax rates, increase tax
Our revenue
occurrences.
stream is just fine in Tulsa.
The Planet Tulsa Master Plan, the community master plan, surveyed thousands of Tulsans, and they concluded that largely speaking, what Tulsans want is a shiny, clean, nice downtown area with also some other, community areas of development. Do you agree with that plan?
I believe that the downtown area is important to our city, but I also believe that we have some huge infrastructure issues in the east and in the south and in the north. And our west is underutilized. It's beautiful in that area. Our North Tulsa is despicable. There is sewer line by sewer line is in bad repair of some assistance. The infrastructure there does not create an opportunity for business to come there, and I believe there is some injustice there. The East Tulsa, the culture there needs to be embraced. There's an amazing opportunity for us to look at what can this be our international town. And of course, out here in South Tulsa, we know our streets can't handle the business that we have out here. So there's a lot of need in other parts of the city just besides downtown.
And as a former city councilor, I'd love to hear your perspective on the dialogue, the debate about whether or not we should change from a strong mayor form of government to a city manager council form of government.
My opinion on that is that neither one will work if we have poor leadership. It's like being married. We change spouses quickly around here, and we get into the same thing we did before. It comes down to leadership. Who's our leadership willing to work with? Are they willing to be in community with one another? And that's what we need to be about. We need to be about that mayor and that council need to be able to come together and work together to be able to design some real solutions together. I believe that a mayor should be working with each councilor, going to their council districts and discovering what are the needs there and how can she put her full power and weight behind that district and the needs that they have there.
Will you make an effort one way or the other to change the form of government?
No, I won't. If we don't have good leadership,
keep it as is, a strong mayor.
We're a young city.
I saw somebody on Twitter, and I thought this was an interesting comment on Twitter, someone who was contemplating moving to Tulsa. Mm-hmm. And they were fishing for reaction to what the city of Tulsa is like. They heard all the good things that they saw in the chamber pieces and everything else. But they asked the question on Twitter, what do you hate about Tulsa? What do you hate about Tulsa?
We are twice the national average in crime, particularly in the issue of violent crime in Tulsa. So if I were looking at the statistics to come to Tulsa, I mentioned this before in another interview, that I would be leery about coming here. The chamber needs to be about crime as well if they want to promote the goodness of Tulsa. There's some underlying root issues that we need to discover. We are also ranked the #1 in the nation in incarcerating women, 4th in the nation of incarcerating men. We have one of the highest drug meth lab uses here in this city and in this region. So there are some real concerns that we have for Tulsa that need to be transformed.
Now, on the issue of crime and law enforcement, in the current administration, we saw the office of the chief of police go from a civil service position to an at-will on the mayor's staff position. Mm-hmm. How would you as mayor deal with, who's going to be your chief of police? How would you deal with that? Was that a wise move for Kathy Taylor to make that an at-will position?
Many cities that has an elected position as the chief of police, and that might not be such a bad idea because we might be in a situation where we need to be able to have and hold accountable that chief of police to being able to work with our community. Chief Palmer is not a bad person. He's a great guy. But being able to work in the community is really going to be crucial for that chief to be able to do.
And on the mayor's staff, would they be accountable to the mayor? I mean, there's still accountability, right?
They're accountable to the mayor, but they need to be probably more accountable to the people.
On let's talk about roads and bridges here for just a second. I mean, I mentioned that's one of the things that I would find. If someone asked me what's bad about Tulsa, I would be inclined to say we got some issues with regards to our roads and bridges. A lot of people are frustrated that they've they're in the state of disrepair that they are today, that we've let it get to this point. I mean, who's to blame? How did we get where we are today?
Well, we've spent a lot of money on trying to increase our revenue stream rather than actually do the work of the streets. And so we need to be focused on that. For many years, we had our third penny sales tax. Senator Inhofe, as mayor, put that together. And that package was to take care of our maintenance of our streets. The funding is there and has been there, but it has been put off, and it has been replaced for other projects. And so whenever I was on the council, we began to see these little projects coming in to skirt that funds away from that street money. And we need to refocus that and focus directly on our streets. So the maintenance money should have been there.
Anna Falling is a candidate for Tulsa mayor. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Joe.
11:48. So you beat Chris by 48 seconds.
Oh, boy.
Very good. Well, thank you very much.
Thank
I do
you.
appreciate you coming in. And